This will be a quick tutorial on jig picking on tenor, banjo, and mandolin. I'm using a mandolin today. So I'm going to be using a simple jig called The Blind Man, which my friend Ben learned from a book by Packie Manus Byrne, and then started playing in a lot of sessions. And it's just been part of our repertoire, but it's not super common, but a very simple jig that mainly focuses on the center strings. So the first phrase of the tune is going to be hanging out just on your D string. So the picking pattern that I use in jigs is to do down, up, down, down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down. Now why I do that is based on a lot of teachers and a lot of the books and other instructional materials. You'll hear this advice often, that your first and third beats, first and third eighth notes in each grouping of 3 notes are your stronger ones. And when you play down, up, down, you have gravity working with you on those downstrokes. So this makes it so that down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. My downstrokes are stronger, and my upstrokes are slightly weaker. First up, let's play the whole tune all the way through, and then I'll break it down phrase by phrase, and then I'll show you the tab. So now, let's take it phrase by phrase. We're going to start off on an open D string. Again, that's down, up, down, down, up, down. Next phrase starts on E string and goes up to your A open string. You could play it with your pinky on the 7th fret. That's a bit more of an advanced technique, but feel free to give it a try if you like. That's a different sound when you're playing on an open string versus on a fretted 7th fret. So. Now that movement of E, A, you'll notice that the first A in that bar comes on an upstroke. So I'm playing a downstroke followed by an upstroke on the string above it. That cross string picking is a pattern you'll need to practice. It doesn't necessarily come naturally, so take it slowly at first. Great. Let's combine those 2 phrases together. Again. Great. Our next phrase is starting on a fretted B. B, D, D, B, A, G. Great. And the last bar of this first line of the tune is okay. So we'll combine those two phrases together, and then we'll put all four of them together. A little slower than that. Okay. One more time through that phrase. Okay. Now let's take that whole line all the way together. Let's do it again. I'm hanging on that E at the end there, but it would just be leading right back into our starting D. So the next two bars of the tune are exactly the same as our first two bars. Great. So the closing of the first part of the tune is a two-bar phrase. I'll break it down into the individual bars. Now let's take the whole A part of the tune and we'll loop it twice. That means we'll repeat it twice. There we go. That is our whole A part of The Blind Man. So the second part of the tune is going to go a little bit higher, but not much. It's just going to use the open E string for a moment, which again, an open string, you could play a 7th fret on the A string rather than playing the open E. Both are choices you can make, but it's a little bit more advanced to be doing the stretch from 2 to 7. So our first phrase, again, remember the down, up, down, is or going back and forth between a B and a D on the A string. Easy enough. Just have these two fingers being involved, or if you're using your pinky for the 5th fret, then these two fingers involved. Now the next phrase is going to be starting on our E string. We could pick through with a down, up, down on that final D. Just different rhythmic emphasis if you do that. So putting those two phrases together, you get okay, and the next two bars are exactly the same. They are or I could do down, up, down picking on that long A at the end there. That's 2 bars of B-A-A-A-A-A. So putting those 4 bars together, we get this. Easy enough, right? It's all on that A string except for that one high E. So our next line is going to start the same way with but then our closing bars are going to mimic what we did in our first part a little bit. Putting those together, we get Let's take the whole tune together now. I think we've got this. And feel free to slow it down or scroll on back to the areas where we're teaching each of the individual parts. B part. Back to the top. Now I'm going to take it a little bit faster, and I'll incorporate some triplets here and there so you can hear how it might sound in a session. that's The Blind Man, and a bit of an introduction to jig picking on mandolin and tenor banjo. Thanks all.